Merrimack TV content may no longer be available on YouTube. To continue watching our programs, please download the Merrimack TV app from your device's App Store. Programs may also be available at merrimacktv.com.
Good evening and welcome to the May 8th Town Council meeting. If you kindly rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, the only announcements I have are for upcoming meetings. Those meetings are Thursday, May 22nd, Thursday, June 12th, and Thursday, June 26th, all at 7 p.m. here in the Matthew Thornton Room. Paul?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day is Saturday, May 10th, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. This will be held at 289 South Street in Milford, New Hampshire. As of May 1st, the transfer station began Thursday night's extended hours till 7 p.m. during the summer months. The campers dump station at wastewater treatment plant has been moved to its new location near the main pump station. Please follow the posted signage. And I would like the public to know that on May 21st, all public works divisions will be closed for a day of safety training and exercises. The divisions that this relates to are as follows: DPW administration, engineering, building and grounds, highway, equipment maintenance, wastewater treatment, solid waste. So the transfer station, the gates will be closed. There will be no residential or commercial activities for the entire day on May 21st. In addition, the wastewater treatment plant is also closed, so there will be no septic haulers, campers, or sludge haulers being able to drop off their waste. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Next on the agenda, comments from the press and public. If you'd like to address the council, you can step to the mic or have a seat at the desk. I haven't seen you in a long time, Michael.
Doing well, thank you. Mike Malzone, 80s Chamberlain Road, good old Merrimack, New Hampshire. I come in to say welcome, Mr. Tom Thornton, to the town council. I actually voted for you.
Appreciate that.
I'm wishing you luck. I'm watching the slow demise of the town, and I'm wishing you well to put up a good fight. I don't know if you can actually put the toothpaste back in the bottle, but you got your hands full. We're in a financial mess here in town, which I don't know how many of the people of the town really even know. The more people I talk to, they don't even know the shortage of the budget, the problems that we lost the lawsuit with the malls of Merrimack. So we got our hands full. I'm hoping that you fiscally watch what's going on for us. The last couple of town councilors did not. And they couldn't even afford to live here anymore and decided to move out of town too, much like 80% of the people that I know can't afford the property taxes in this town anymore. We're certainly not getting a bang for our buck for what we're paying. My property taxes have gone up $3,000 in 3 years. I wish I had deep pockets like the Merrimack outlet malls to sue you all, because I feel my property has been overvaluated, much like the malls. But I don't have that kind of money to sue you people. So I'm watching the zoning board and planning board meetings, and now we're going to change Rite Aid Plaza into a church, which is another loss of tax revenue. I don't know if anyone thinks about these things, but how many empty churches are there on Daniel Webster Highway that somebody could take over and run without taking a big piece of real estate like that and take that off the tax books? This is the first time in this town that I actually voted for no on the roof of a school. I've always preached that if you have to keep your infrastructure up, I'm all for it. I've never voted against anything like that. I think that's foolish. If you need a roof, you need a roof. I've always voted for that. This year here, I absolutely positively did not vote for it, and a lot of people didn't vote for it either because we're fed up. This is out of control. I mean, you're all sitting here very comfortable, and that's all cool. But you're not putting the people's interest first. Take a ride down Daniel Webster Highway in this town, and it's ugly. It's flat out ugly. Just go to where the dam used to be. That was the most photographed thing in this town, and take a look at what that looks like down there now. It's pitiful. We took federal grants to build that little walk behind to go back there, and I'm sure it was great intention, but the money could have been used for something more purposeful because it looks ugly. It looks out of place. You can tell it wasn't time period to match what the bridge was and so on and so forth. It was a horrible design. I don't know what we're going to do with the shortages of budgets. I see 5 brand-new fire trucks down there. We could possibly sell one of those for $1 million to help offset the shortages. But now what are you going to do with the shortages of the mall? I certainly hope you don't walk up and knock on all our doors and say, y'all going to have to pay for that too. Now, I'm sure you paid for an assessing company to go around and do the assessing and the evaluations of the properties of the town. I hope you go after them as opposed to just looking at us fools who live here in this town and take more of our money from us. Because again, we're certainly not getting bang for our buck. I do. I really wish I had the deep pockets that I could sue you all for the same reason. Because I could build my house for 150 grand today, but y'all get me assessed at 500, 600, or whatever it may be, and I'm paying that kind of money in taxes, where I know I could tear that down and build it for $1.50. But you all decide, well, that's what it's worth, this is what we could sell it for. I'm not selling it. Now I'm begging my wife to sell to get out of town because it's getting that unaffordable. How many people can afford to pay those kind of taxes anymore? You know, one week you get people telling us we can't water our lawn, and then you let another apartment building go up with another 200 units in it. The mall made out great out there. I supported the mall at the beginning because it was all supposed to be stores. Now it's loaded with apartments, and you're letting that all go too. It's disappointing. I was a town councilor. I was a selectman in town. I know you have to make difficult choices, but you got to make them. Somebody has to make them. You can't be worrying about just getting reelected again so you can all hang out and have a good time after the meetings. I'm really pulling for you. I don't know what you can do. I'll be happy to help you in any way that I possibly can if you need another voice to come up here and scream. But it's difficult. It really is. I don't know how people do it with kids, but the people that are moving in with kids, if they're not buying an expensive house, then they're living in the low-income houses, and we're all paying for that. And it's unfortunate. This was a nice little town, but we have become a city. And I hope we dissolve the board. I'm contemplating getting out there and getting signatures to put it on the ballot to go to a city. Why not just go to a city so we can have a mayor and have one person responsible for all the money that goes on in this town? I was against the town charter when they wanted to go to this council because before, if somebody wanted a $900,000 fire truck, you had to put it on the ballot and you had to ask us people for it. Now we just vote on the budget and you all spend it how you want, and I don't think you're spending it properly. All brand-new fire trucks, all brand-new cruisers, all brand-new DPW trucks, all brand-new water trucks, all brand-new wastewater treatment facility trucks. We don't do without anything in this town as far as the town is concerned, except for the people of this town, and it's tiring. So I wish you luck. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and you all have a nice evening, and happy Mother's Day to anyone who may be a mother.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
If anybody else would like to address the council, you can step to the mic. Seeing no one coming forward. We have no recognitions, resignations, or retirement, no appointments. We have no public hearings, so we're at legislative updates, or updates from our legislative delegation, I guess. Nancy?
Sure.
You had nothing, Paul?
We were in session today, and it was a shorter day. I just probably mention a couple of bills that were passed. One was, actually, this was education. We'll skip that one too. But relative to education freedom accounts, This was a bill that will remove the income cap on EFA vouchers beginning this year, and it will allow the program to expand from 5,321 students to 10,000 students, which is guaranteed to raise our taxes over $20 million to subsidize the cost of private education. I did not support that bill just because of the tax impact. There were some other state health improvement plans. There was another bill, SB 105, enabling towns to adopt budget caps. And this bill, again, passed today. It was 193 to 168. There was a roll call on it. And despite recommendations from the Government Finance Officers Association to use multiple inflation indexes when calculating area inflation rates, this bill charges the governing body with choosing one of two inflation indexes for the calculation, consumer price index or municipal cost index. And it specifically prohibits warrant articles with the index from being amended by the legislative body at town meeting. Therefore, the legislative body, the residents, are prohibited from exercising what I think are the constitutional rights of town meeting, so I opposed it. The budget cap override in the bill increases from a simple majority to a 3/5 supermajority. And I know I had talked with Paul about how that would impact the town, and for that reason I voted against it, but it did pass. And then one other related to public works and highways, SB 153 passed relative to expedited driveway permitting of major entrances for residential uses of 20 units or greater. So it allows developers, if they're willing to pay extra fees for NHDOT to obtain driveway permits for access to state highways. It doesn't preclude the requirement that they obtain planning and zoning approvals if that's required. So that did pass. And unfortunately, something that was really important to me, and I mean, it's not specific to our town, but there was a bill, SB 23, again, that was a roll call bill, expanding the crime of endangering the welfare of a child, did not pass, and I was disappointed in that. It was 206 no to 158 yes. And that was a bill that was brought to us by law enforcement seeking the ability to prosecute for things like children that their parents let their teeth rot out of their mouth, or they've unfed for significant periods of time that didn't necessarily meet the criteria for felony charges. So it didn't pass. So that won't be changing. But it was a short day. Probably won't be back for a couple of weeks because all the bills are in the Senate, and we have fewer bills in the House, so it'll be a little bit before we're back.
Thank you, Nance.
Sure.
Next on the agenda, Town Manager Report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last Saturday, the VFW held their Loyalty Day, where Detective Kevin Emanuele was awarded Police Officer of the Year. Dispatcher Sharon Feitel and Dispatcher Annette DiPaolo were awarded Dispatchers of the Year. They were honored for their work for a domestic where the husband took the wife hostage and threatened to shoot her. The incident was resolved and with the victim being taken away safely. On Friday, May 9th, tomorrow, Detective Haley Ash will be recognized by the Hillsborough County Nashua Child Advocacy Center as the recipient of their Everyday Hero Award. Her work with child abuse victims and the ceremony will be held in Church Landing in Meredith. It's a very high honor for Detective Ash. I just want to expand a little bit about Senate Bill 105. I read the bill, and like most bills that come out, it's very confusing because it talks about population, it talks about the consumer price index, it talks about how you're supposed to calculate this without giving you what the calculation is. And it's funny because they use the word if as how to calculate. If. And when you're reading, it, like, okay, I read it like 3 or 4 times. While tax caps, there is tax caps for any city that's out there. They have to abide by a tax cap. Tax caps are the way of where we're moving, but there has to be some thought when you do a tax cap. It was just the language in there is very, I didn't stay at the Holiday Inn, so I didn't get my law degree when I read it. And it's very mishmash of what it really says and how to produce a tax cap if it is voted in. So that was one of the reasons why, like some of the bills up there, the language needs to be shored up because there's a lot of loopholes, and I don't know if they write it that way on purpose, but there isn't a lot of direction for finance people and townspeople to figure out what it really means. Could mean this, could mean that, could mean this. So that's one. And then do want to let the council and the residents know that we are waiting for judgment with the MPO case from the courts. So that's why I haven't brought it forward to the town council. We're waiting on the judgment and the signed judgment. So once we get that signed judgment by the courts, I will be bringing that forward to the town council and the people so they know exactly how much it's cost the town for this abatement. And it's not an abatement case. It was an equity case for assessment. And they changed the law in 2020. There were 2 words taken out of the law, errors and omissions, in 2015. Those 2 words were put back in 2020. And that's what the ruling is based on, those 2 words, errors and omissions. So that's where we stand, and they changed the law back in 2020. But I just want to let people know that's where we stand. And I want to put this behind us so we can move on as a community.
Thank you, Paul.
So, Paul, MPO is Merrimack Premium Outlets?
Correct.
Just for people.
Merrimack
don't know
Premium
that.
Outlets, yes.
Alrighty. We have nothing on the consent agenda. The first item under old business is discussion of the New Hampshire Department of Transportation F.E. Everett Turnpike widening project with the proposed improvements along Wire Road and Babusk Lake Road to include the construction of sidewalks. Paul?
So I got a memo or a request from the state of New Hampshire DOT. As you know, they are widening the F.E. Everett Turnpike from basically exit 8 all the way up to exit 13. The section from exit 12 to exit 13, has been completed. They're working on the bridge between exit 8 and exit 10 to make it a 3-lane highway. We have 2 bridges in that as you go through the highway, Babusk Lake Road and Wire Road. When the state first came to us, we asked for sidewalks to be put on both sides of the Babusk Lake Road bridge. And the north, we tried getting both on Wire Road, but they agreed to putting it on the northbound side of the Wire Road bridge. So, like in many cases, when they did the upgrade to Pennachuck Square area in the Home Depot, Craftsman Lane area, they come forward and say, if we'll put the sidewalk in, but we don't maintain them. So if the town wants them, they have to sign this maintenance agreement, basically saying that you'll maintain the sidewalks to the standard of care in your sidewalk maintenance plan. And what will happen is where Babusk Lake Road is and where Wire Road is, they'll be put back into the plan, and the sidewalks will be cleared according to the maintenance plan that we have for sidewalks. That's the first thing.
And that's the maintenance.
That's the maintenance
It doesn't
agreement.
have to do with if the thing falls apart, we have to fix it. It's just
Clear a path, right? And it all depends on if it falls apart or something like that. Depending on what section falls apart. If it's in the state, for instance, they're extending Wire Road past the state bridge.
Yeah.
So the right of way. So that section after the state right of way, that would become the town's. Have to maintain that and keep that up to date. If it's on the bridge or in that New Hampshire state right of way, they're responsible for, if it crumbles, they need to fix it.
Very good.
Okay? The other one is work zone agreement. This is something new. because we'll have work zones on Wire Road and Babuzik Lake Road, probably happening at the same time, since they're both going out to bid in June. I think it's June 21st of this year. So basically what the work zone agreement says is that they will use flaggers, they will use officers to do the traffic control. However, they are in charge of traffic control. So if they want to close a lane, they can close the lane. They'll work with us, of course, if it's during rush hour or school time, they'll work with us a little bit, but basically it says that it's our responsibility, and we'll take all responsibility of what's happening in the work zone. If we need to close a lane, we'll close a lane. If we need flaggers, we'll use flaggers. If we need a police officer, we'll use a police officer. So those are the two agreements that need to be signed in order for us to get these two bridges replaced.
And both of them are with New Hampshire Department
The-
of Transportation.
Correct, NHDOT. And they're all part of the Effie Everett Turnpike widening. They are pretty much boilerplate that we've seen in the past. It's kind of like the same thing. I don't know if we signed the work zone for Craftsman Lane in that area, but I know we did sign the sidewalk one. I believe we might have signed the work zone one too in that area, that they can, if they have to alternate traffic or close a lane, it's their project. They'll control the project moving forward.
So it would be the council agreeing to signing these two and giving you
Authority,
authority.
correct.
So moved.
Very good, Nancy.
Second.
Motion by Nancy Harrington, seconded by, sorry, Tom.
So
Nancy
is that okay,
Murphy?
putting the two of them together?
Yes, it would, fine, that'll work.
Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? 600. And I just remembered, I didn't mention that Mackenzie Murphy is delayed in coming in. An excuse for this moment in time. All right, second item under old business, the council discussed the appointment of the councilor as a member of the town-owned Watkins Forest
Yeah.
Committee for,
This is gonna take a long time.
I know
to
it,
be-
for the purpose, I know, for the purpose of the
Wise guy.
foresting that's going
Yes.
on.
So what happened, Mr. Chair, what happened is that at the election, the article passed. And the language in the article said that the one member will be from the trustee of trust funds, one member will be from the school, one member will be from the town council. And the last sentence of the warrant article said, and it will be appointed by the board. So right now, because they want to get moving on the Watkins Forest initiative, we have to appoint somebody. And Councilor Jobin volunteered. I don't know if she got volunteered or strong-armed, but she volunteered. So for this, and basically the council just needs to vote to allow one of you, if not Councilor Jobin, somebody else, to be on this committee.
I move that Councilor Jobin be appointed as the town council representative on the Watkins Forest Committee.
Motion by Nancy Harrington, seconded by Peter, did I hear? Any further discussion on this? Call the question. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstained?
I knew there was gonna be a lot of
600.
debate.
And I should have asked Jennifer if she was interested in doing it, but I,
Well, she was
Yes.
nodding.
It makes sense.
It does, being
Since
on the
I'm on the
Conservation.
Conservation Commission.
yeah.
They,
you know,
they seconded that real quick, like everybody said they would second that one, Jen.
Yeah,
appreciate
move on
you doing
before
it.
she changes her mind. Yeah.
All right. First item under new business, the council to consider the approval of the Merrimack Youth Association's request for new signage located at Bishop Field and Reeds Ferry Field. And we have all these new things in our packet.
Right.
Did you see?
During negotiations with the Merrimack Youth Association, you gave permission, John and
If you
Rick can
you
come
guys
up.
want to come up?
Yeah, they thought they were gonna be able to sit back
Yeah,
there.
no. You gave permission for them to expand their signage to cover some of their cost in an effort to basically flatline their budget from one year to the next. However, during those discussions, you said was to let the council approve the signage. Because in the contract right now, we have approved signage for Bice Field. We have approved signage for Vets Park. And this would be 2 additional fields to have signage. So basically, the council said, yes, you can go and get your sponsors, but before, you need to just come in and get that approved. John sent me a request to come forward because softball, baseball season, and soccer season are in full swing, and they have some signages that and look over by Bishop Field and over by Reed's Field. So take it away, John.
Okay.
Joe, come out. Grace, you want to turn on the projector, please?
You have the picture in your packet?
We do have pictures in the packet.
It'd be good for everybody.
Yeah, okay.
She's
Now,
on the way.
just to extend that too, which it's been addressed by these, there was some concern expressed about the visibility through the different fences and all that. And it does seem like these pictures indicate that they've responded to those concerns.
Yeah, so, I mean, the picture pretty much tells the word, pretty straightforward. Most of those are sponsors that we've had in the past.
You want to just pull the mic closer?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not on.
So now by allowing them to put up some signage on the fields, they're much more apt to stay as sponsors for the individual programs. And the new part was over at Gibson Field for lacrosse. They used the side of one shed to put up some sponsorships. And at the Reed's Ferry Field, they used the backstop and the batting cages kind of up as high as they could get it to not impede view or anything to that effect.
Right.
And, you know, to me, all the sponsor signage is appropriate. I mean, there's no Budweiser, there's no, you know, things like that. So it's all pretty much straightforward.
Did you want to load that up so that,
I don't
Oh, you-
know if it is loaded up. I mean, I guess I have it on thumb drive here.
Just for the people at home, John.
It'd be a miracle if I make it work here. Yeah, okay. So there's the picture of the Reed's Ferry fencing. It was hard to see the name, so I kind of tried to blow it up as best possible. But they put it up on the backstop, nice and high. Really doesn't impede anything on the field. And same with the batting cage. Convenient Med has been almost a corporate sponsor for us. They sponsor many of the different sports. So they put one up here, and again, it doesn't really impede the progress. They put their own sign up on the backstop just to kind of advertise that it is in fact MYA and Merrimack softball. So that's the Reed's Ferry area. Let's see if I can.
Are they two-way signs, John?
No, one-way sign. They're just facing out. Yeah,
Are they a white backing or?
yeah, white. Most of them are white,
Are they white back, okay.
I believe.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
That one's white, certainly. Yeah, they're all white background. This,
I'm just thinking that, you know, if that's, what's that, minor league ball field?
yeah, it's.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
12
I was just
year-
thinking a fly ball getting
Yeah.
caught up in the sign.
No, I don't think so. It's 12 years old and under.
Yeah, so I don't really see that as a,
Let's see, so that was Reed's Ferry. Bishop. So there's the Bishop Field, and the field is to the right. That's the shed that's kind of right next to the parking lot. So that's the side that faces the parking lot, and it really doesn't obtrude anything. And it makes our sponsors very willing to contribute, you know, to have their sign there. Most of the sponsors have kids actually in the program, so again, when they see their sign there, it helps them to want to continue to contribute. And again, all these signs make sense. Fimble Garage Doors over here on DW Highway has actually volunteered to be our corporate sponsor.
Nice.
They've put money in for every program, and we're hoping to renew that. And so they've been a good partner for us, and they donated a garage door to a shed that the football program built over at Gibson Field. So they've been good to us so far. We're hoping to keep that going forward. So those are really only two pictures that are new to the agreement. And with your approval, we'll stick it into the agreement. I had put a placeholder in there for a picture to be added. some of the names may change year to year, but for the most part, that will be the location. And if it expands, we'll let you know, but the plan is not to let it expand. So that's it. Very straightforward.
Nancy?
Thank you for that. And I was one of the ones that raised the concern before about the size of the sign potentially creating safety issues for law enforcement, just to sort of scope things out as they drive by. So I think it's great that doesn't seem to be a problem. How do you, just out of curiosity, how are the size of the signs determined? Like some of the, like Community Day has a huge banner, and others are, they're all different sizes. Is there a rhyme or reason to the?
There's a fee scale. So
Okay.
we tried to keep the signs basically 2x4,
Good,
maybe
yeah.
3x6, something like that. Convenient Med for softball paid a little more for that big sign. And they have signs down at Bicefield for baseball, and so we do it based on a tier system. I think softball uses a single, double, home run kind of format.
Yeah.
And, the goal is not to plaster the fields with signs, but the goal is it generates plenty of fundraising revenue for us without much output. And it's very helpful to keep the programs running, keep the registration costs low. That's kind of the goal of fundraising for us, is to try to keep the cost of the Merrimack residents low enough where it's not a burden to play a sport. So, like I said, on that sign, there may be 2x4, maybe 3x5, something to that effect. Pretty standard stuff.
And is that just the other question? The Community MD sign that's at the Bicefield, is it similar to the one that's at Reed's? I mean, it doesn't block the entire,
Yeah, it's very similar. It's not as big.
okay.
And at Bicefield, the batting cage is way out in left field, so it's kind of off the field anyway to some degree. And that was the concern here, that because you were close to the street, we didn't want to pepper it with
Yeah.
debris, if you will.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's the idea there.
Nancy, excuse me, if a police officer were to visit Bicefield and that signage, they would have a clear path of vision in that area.
Thank you.
Yeah, the one thing, though, if you can look at most of these signs, there are a couple that do have phone numbers, but most of the signs do not have phone numbers on them. They're just true sponsorship signs. So it's not like they're advertising, but they're not advertising. Does that make sense? It's that, if you go to the other ones there on the Bishop, you can see that all those signs on the Bishop Field, there's no phone number. So while it's great that Stonyfield is there, that's a great get, by the way, whoever got that donation. They're not in your face, kind of, here's the number, call. People would have to look and say, okay, that's our sponsor, and go there, which is always a nice thing. You don't want to be plastered with big numbers, and it becomes the license plates for automobiles, IRA, doing their advertising for them.
Yeah.
This gives them that really you're helping the program out kind of
For the
feel.
most part, these are their company logos.
Yeah, right,
That's really all it
exactly,
If you
is
go
all
on
it
their
is.
webpage, it's the same logo.
Right, so,
And, we're straight, we don't want to see, 10% off on Tuesdays.
yeah, right,
nothing
stuff like that,
crazy
which is, it's nice that they're giving back to the businesses that are there, but they're not promoting the businesses with, like you said, 10% off on Tuesdays or free tacos.
Very good. All right.
So I'll motion to approve the MYE signs.
Second.
Peter got you first, sorry, Nance. It's a motion by Tom, seconded by Peter.
He was fast tonight.
Mackenzie did arrive at 7:28? 29. Thank you, Mackenzie, welcome. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? It's 7-0-0. Thanks, Sean.
Okay, great, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Appreciate all your work.
Counselors.
All right. Second item under new business.
And you're going to have the privilege of Tom visiting you guys.
Oh, yes,
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
A couple of weeks, I'll see you.
All right, second item under new business, the
See you, John.
Finance Director Paul Calabria will review the key financial information of the quarter ending December 31, 2024. That's all good news, right?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Board. Hi, Tom. I'm just bringing down shorten up the screen just a little bit to try to get it all on there. So usually you would see a slide deck. However, we didn't do that this time, but it will be on the third quarter, which I hope to have in a couple of weeks on the 22nd. So we'll get back on track with that. So right now, as of 12/31, we still had 53% left in our health insurance. We had only expended 47%. Part of that is due to the staff, the shortages, the open positions in police and fire and a couple other departments. Moving to New Hampshire retirement, it's pretty much the same story. Let me just get that. It's exactly the same. We've spent 47% through 12/31. We still have 53% remaining in the budget. And again, open positions in police and fire and other departments is what's accounting for that, the fact that we're still in a surplus situation on those two accounts. Overtime, which is always on everybody's mind. There have been steps taken in the fire department to mitigate the overrun on theirs. There's a new staffing plan in place. But the good part of this is that the open positions will more than account for the overage in the overtime by the end of the year. So we'll be on pace for all of those. Same thing with the police. Their open positions will more than take care of their overage in their overtime accounts. Moving on to wages. Excuse me. All departments are in pretty good shape. The only one that is in a little bit of a deficit is because we moved the welfare position to full-time the third week of December. So that one is just a little bit overspent, and it will be, of course, for the rest of the year because that position was originally budgeted as a part-time position. And so there was a little bit of overlap also where the new incoming Sandra DeLosa came in the week of Christmas, and of course, the outgoing Pat Murphy was still here through the end of January. Department summary. Overall, you see the percentage of remaining budget in the red. Obviously, we're continuing to monitor those on a weekly, monthly basis as necessary. Some of these have overages because they have services that the contracts paid out earlier in the year, so that money's already exhausted for the whole year. Solid waste is continuing to be a problem with the cost of demo and recyclables. Just the per ton, the amount of solid waste that this town is experiencing, plus the increase in costs, is continuing to be problematic. And again, welfare, the good part about welfare is they have seen not as many cases as they did last year in regards to people looking for temporary residence, heating assistance, anything utility-based that has quieted down. Usually does once income tax returns are issued, but it is also the part of the year where they stop the shut-off notices, that those aren't prohibited anymore. So we may see a bump up in that, but right now we're in pretty good shape.
And if we just stay on this page for 1 second, if you look at solid waste, you saw $658,000 worth of a purchase order. During the 6 months, we go to a complete year for what the budget is for that. So if you took that $600,000 out, they are still in pretty good shape. They would be at, about $949,000 of their budget, which would just be right around 50%, but they're good. The other thing about like welfare, you got to remember, is we front load all the health agencies, and that's $77,000, and we pay those all in July. So it's not like we're going to get a recurring expense of that 77 throughout the year. So on 208,000, when you're spending almost, 50% of your budget on those health services accounts, that's a significant chunk. And then you'll see that the other one is Public Works. Is it Public Works? The one that has $3 million. Highway has $3 million. Those are purchase orders that are out and about for.
So they're incumbent.
So they're encumbered. So really, you're looking at, okay, 39%, they have enough money, it's just that they encumbered stuff for the whole year, and they get paid out over the year. So overall, if you go down to the bottom, the town is in very good financial shape through the second quarter. We're roughly around 46% of our money left, and that includes all those big one-time, expenditures at the beginning of the year versus everything else that we've already put into purchase orders or encumbered those costs for. So we're in good shape as of December 31st.
The shape we're in.
And remember, this is a default year as well. So we have back-to-back default years, but this is the default budget, and we are making it work with what we have.
Great. Thank you, Paul. Does anybody have any questions for Paul? Peter?
Paul, this is just for the second quarter, the end of the second quarter?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess my question is we're in the third quarter, so we're gonna have a hearing or a presentation on that?
Hopefully in
soon?
2 weeks, yes.
All right, so how come there was such a delay for this one?
The default budget took up quite a bit of time.
Okay.
We had back-to-back days of budget meetings, follow-up budget meetings, where town
To
manager and
deal
I.
with it.
We were also waiting on some other information from a department
Yes.
that we needed.
We didn't have everything we needed.
So
Okay,
we were waiting, but we had the expense, we didn't have, it was a revenue account. We were waiting on some numbers from a revenue account. So but we had all the expense account numbers, so. Usually we try to bring this forward in the January, February timeframe because of the delays with the revenue portion, which is the next slide. We delayed coming forward, knowing that we were in good shape. The town charter does say that we're supposed to come once a quarter with our quarterly, so we will get back on that track to proper.
so we can see
months.
quarter three.
You're gonna see quarter three within 2 weeks.
Thank you, sir.
In 2 weeks, you'll see quarter three. I'll guarantee it. It's
I'm
on the
looking-
agenda right now.
I'm looking forward to it.
That's it.
Very, very fair question, Councilor Albert. Very fair question.
All right, so revenues.
And then revenues, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Jennifer, sorry.
Just a quick one back on overtime. Communications was at 116%. Was somebody out, or do we know what that was?
It was a position outage, wasn't it, Paul? It was
There was vacancies.
vacancies, yeah.
There was a vacancy. We're, knock on wood, we are 100% staffed.
You just cursed yourself.
I
you know
did.
that.
We are 100% staffed in that department, so that's why. And that's one of those key factors, key departments that you kind of need the people there. Can't have the phone go unanswered, so.
Okay, thank you.
And the last slide in the deck is revenues. And just get over to the side here. Currently, the pooled cash is exceeding budget. We're already at 1.29 million as of 12/31 on an $800,000 budget. Obviously, we don't expect that to continue into the foreseeable future, as the town manager detailed out a few minutes ago. And then we have building permits and auto registrations. About 45% and 57% respectively for auto and building. We did see a little bit of a drop-off At some point after the pandemic, when everybody was staying home and rebuilding porches and everything else, it has slowed down a little bit. You can see the amounts in previous years. But auto registrations, I know the town manager went up on that, and rightfully so. People are still buying their new cars. We have all the, I'm sorry, go ahead, Paul, I see you shaking your head.
We're going to have another spike
Yeah.
for the next quarter with the tariffs.
People
I
are buying
believe-
cars now.
People are buying cars because they were scared about the tariffs. I read today that Toyota's predicting a decrease in revenue, even though most of their cars are built in America, assembled in America, I should say. It's the parts that are getting the tariffs, and people are going to start pulling back because the cars, car maker's going to pass it on to individuals. So we'll see maybe a kind of a price decrease as it goes forward, because some of these, you can buy a Toyota Tundra pickup truck for $80,000. It's like, who needs a pickup truck for $80,000? I know the Chevy, the GMC pickup trucks are $75,000, $80,000, and I'm gonna age myself, but 5-10 years ago, they were selling for 30, 32, so they have drastically doubled in price, so might
That was
see some.
before the tariffs.
And that was before the tariffs, so it's gonna go up, they're gonna go up. I'm shaking my head because, I'm not seeing a ton of new cars. Some of this money is because of the apartments. And people have been here for a year, and now they gotta register their vehicle. So they're coming in to register their vehicles. But I really think we're gonna see a drop-off in auto registrations with the new car portion of it, so.
Very good. Any questions? Guess we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is proclamation I have here for Professional Municipal Clerks Week. And I would like to read the proclamation and then we'll look for a motion. The proclamation is 56th Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, May 4th through 10th, 2025. Whereas the Office of Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas the professional municipal clerks have pledged to be there ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it's most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the Office of the Professional Municipal Clerk, now therefore we, the Town Council of Merrimack, New Hampshire, do recognize the week of May 4th through 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Brenda S. DeLong, and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Dated this 8th day of May, 2025.
I move to issue the proclamation designating May 4th to May 10th, 2025 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week.
Second.
Motion by Nancy Harrington, seconded by Jennifer. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstained, 700. And we'll have that pass around and make sure that the staff knows we appreciate everything that they do. All right. If we're all set, we'll move on to approval of the minutes from April 24th, 2025.
As we all look to Jennifer.
Yes, we do.
I do not have any corrections.
Whoa.
There we go.
So I'll make a motion, unless anybody else does, to approve the minutes from the April 24th Town Council meeting.
I'll second.
Motion by Jennifer, second by Tom. So call the question. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. Mackenzie Murphy, abstention 601.
Wow.
Comments from the press and public? Comments from the council? Peter?
I want to address some comments made earlier at the beginning in the public comment section regarding the town, the planning board, the council allowing certain properties or entities to come into town and be built, and that we're allowing this. And I think that, and we've dealt with this issue as a council over the years, and I think people have to understand that when somebody buys a piece of land and it's zoned in a certain manner, that they have the ability to develop that land in that manner. And there's only so much we can and do and to, if we wanted to stop that project from coming in. And as long as they do it in the manner that's prescribed by law, there's very little that we can do. So I think that people have to understand it's just not as simple as, hey, look, we got enough apartments here, we're done. It doesn't happen that way. Now that I'm on the planning board, I am going to ask the board that I think we might need to take up a little bit of a public education presentation on this, because, yeah, there are things that we all scratch our heads and say, why are you building a lot of apartments, or why do we need this, or why do we need that? But again, people by law can build these things, and we can't just, stop things. We've been down this road. So I just wanted to get that out there, that it's just not as easy as one might think. So, thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Anybody have anything further? Seeing none?
Move to adjourn?
Motion by Nancy
Second.
Harrington, seconded by Tom. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstained, 700. Thank you, everybody.